this tutorial, I'm going to show you how I make my thank you labels. I am using Rollo labels because I'm using a thermal printer. They come in different colors. Today I'm going to use white. And then this is my thermal label printer. I don't really get how it works, but it doesn't use ink and it's awesome. You want to make your document the size of your labels. Mine are 2 by 2 inches. Well, it's a 2-inch circle, so I'm making my document 2 by 2 inches. It made my document really big, so I zoomed out, which is Command minus on a Mac, or you can go up to the top and click View and zoom out. Now I'm going to make a circle, so I'm going to press and hold on this square, and then you'll see the ellipse tool, and then just click on your artboard, and then this will come up, and you can put in the documents. Mine's a 2 by 2 circle, so that's what I'm putting in. You can use a direct selection tool to move it to where it goes. And then I'm going to use 2 layers in this. So for this bottom layer, I am going to name it circle. And then over on the left where the color is, I don't need it to be filled, so I'm going to press that little slash line and it'll take out the color so it's just an outline. On the align palette and then go to the bottom, align to, press align to artboard, and then use the horizontal and vertical lines. It'll align it perfectly to your artboard. In the layers, I'm going to double click that little plus sign and add my new layer for the text. Next to that little eye, you can lock that layer so now the circle will not move. And then make sure you click on the text layer so that you can start working on your text. Now I'm going to do text on a curved line. So I'm making a circle and then I'm aligning it to the center of my artboard. That T icon on your toolbar is text. If you press and hold it, you will see type on a path. Click on that, click on the circle you made, and then you should see text appear. And just start typing in whatever you want your label to say. Over on the character palette, which is on the left, you can play around with the text size. And then you can also play around with the fonts. If you just click on it and press down, it'll go through every font in alphabetical order, which is kind of fun. So play around with that, figure out what font you want. I am going to use a font that I use across my business. If you click on the text and then press the shift key, you can resize it that way as well. Now you need to make your text outlines if you want to manipulate it in any way. So go to Type, Create Outlines, and then Object, Ungroup. And now you can move around the letters all on their own, make some bigger, make some smaller, you can change the orientation of them. If you need to move them all together again, you can either select all of them or you can group everything back together, which is Command G. Now I'm thinking I want a heart in the middle of this, so I am using that pencil tool, and then I'm just drawing a heart freehand. And don't worry about what it looks like yet because I'm going to manipulate it. And then back on that color palette, I'm filling it in with black. I'm going to use this curvature tool on the left to move around all the anchor points. If you double click on it and then double click on it again, you will see how it kind of changes the point. And then I can manipulate them however I want. You can also click on the object, and in that box you should be able to see a little transform tool. It's a little curved line. If you go to View, Guides, and Show Rulers, and then click on that ruler and drag, you'll see a line appear. I use this when I want to line things up. I'm going to zoom in and then I can take the anchor points and make sure they're both touching the same spot at the top. And then to get that blue line to disappear, you go to View, Guides, and Hide Guides. I'm going to add more text, so if I double click on that text tool and just go to the regular text, type in whatever you want. So I am thanking people for shopping small, play around with the text, resize it. I'm going to add little decorative lines with the pencil tool. I'm going to add the black to the stroke, and then just draw them freehand. I want this to align more with my business, so I'm going to make the heart a sun catcher. I'm going to take out the fill and add a stroke instead. And then down here on the palette, you can play around with the lines. I want the stroke to be on the inside so that it doesn't run into the text. I'm going to click on the line tool on the left-hand side and use that to create lines, play around with the weight of the stroke to make sure it looks good. I decided I don't like these swirls anymore, so I'm going to take them off, move everything around. And now I'm going to play around with this text a little bit. And the paragraph palette, I'm going to center the text. That centers it on top of each other. And then I'm going to go back to this character palette, and then this little icon where the text is on top of each other, you can change the spacing between the 2 lines of text. I made the thank you bolder by just adding width to the stroke. I decided to add more hearts and then some stars because it kind of goes along with my brand. So I copied and pasted the heart, filled it in, took away the stroke. And with that bounding box, you can make it bigger, smaller, you can turn it around. I'm also making a star. And with a direct selection tool, I can make the points of the star curved and not straight by just pulling one of those anchor points in. It will automatically pull all the anchor points in and make them curved. And then I can just go back with the curvature tool and add points wherever I want and make some sides of the star bigger, some smaller. I just kind of want it to look more playful. And then one point of the star I noticed was flat. So if I zoom in and then use that curvature tool, I can add a point and make it curved. So now I'm copying and pasting everything, making it look how I want, and now I'm ready to print. So I'm going to take out my shipping labels and add in my Rollo labels. So now you want to go to File, Print, and then this dialog box will come up. Make sure you select your Rollo printer, obviously. And then you're going to have this big screen like this. You need to change a couple things. First, go to Setup. I like to go down here and go to the printer options and then printer features. I've done this a lot. Usually you need to make the darkness darker so that your stuff doesn't look too pixelated. So we're going to try 12 and see how that looks. And then go to Page Setup, just press Continue. And now you need to go and select the printer again. And then for paper size, you are selecting a other custom size. I already have it in there, but you would manage custom sizes and just pick 2 by 2 inches or whatever size your labels are. After you press OK, your label now should be full size inside your document. Press print, and then this is your test to see what it looks like. I think it's a little hard to read for shopping small, so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to change the darkness, see if that makes a difference, under printer options and the features, and I'm going to change it to, I think I changed it to 9. And then you can also drag this around. If it didn't print in the center on your label, you can kind of move it around a little bit. It printed again. I still thought it looked kind of squished together, so I'm just going in here and I'm ungrouping the text and moving it around and trying to make it spaced out. And I think it looks a lot better now. Now the text on this thermal printer is never going to be as crisp as it would on like a laser printer, but I think for packaging it's totally fine. I use a lot of labels in my small business. Most of them I print on my laser printer, but here's examples of others that I also print on my thermal printer. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know below.